Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and do another one of these videos that I did at the beginning of last year, where these are the top projects to watch out for on the Wax blockchain throughout the entire year of 2024. These are the games that I think at the end of the year are going to be the best games on the blockchain. Yes, that's a bold statement, and this is completely 100% my opinion, based on gameplay, based on what I've been hearing recently. This isn't necessarily what they are at right this second. I did a video last week where I talked about the games that are the top 10 for right now in January of 2024. This is more of as I'm watching them develop, as they continue to develop at the end of the year. Again, at the end of the year, these are the games that I think will be the top games on the Wax blockchain. And please understand that this is just my personal opinion. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and do a video at the end of the year, similar to what I did last December, where we kind of go through these projects and kind of take a look. Which ones did I get wrong? Which ones did I get right? And we'll really see what's going on with the projects throughout the 2024 timeframe. And you can go ahead in the comments down below. Let me know what projects I missed. What project are you most excited about in 2024 that you think will develop the best? And at the end of the year will be one of the top projects on the Wax blockchain. Doesn't necessarily have to be one of the top projects right now on the Wax blockchain, but throughout the development. And I keep stressing that because I don't want people to think that these are the best projects as of right this second. These are the ones that will develop the best throughout 2024 from a gameplay perspective, and be just games that you're going to want to play. Again, this is not based on volume. This is not based on any number of active accounts, quote unquote active accounts that are also possibly bots. Won't dive into that, but these are just a number of games that I'm excited about. Before we jump into the video, I know I have to do everyone's least favorite part of the video and let you know this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word or anything that's said in this video as financial advice or advice in any way. I'm just a gamer playing a game and reviewing games as part of this. I am not telling you to jump into any project or anything along those lines. Do your own research, make sure it's right for you. Go ahead and pause this video and read this thoroughly before we jump into it. All right, so let's get back to the video. All right, now that we got that disclaimer out of the way, if you didn't understand it, go ahead and listen to that again, because I don't want anyone to think this is financial advice throughout 2024. This is just my personal opinion, things that I think might happen this year, and you can kind of do your own research. Just do that. All right, I wanted to go ahead and do that again also. All right, let's go ahead and kick off with the first overall project. This is actually Wombat. Wombat from a utility perspective. Also potentially with Dungeon Masters, that's not Dungeon Masters, Dungeon Worlds, that's potentially coming out this year. But I wanted to go ahead and throw this out as a Wombat as a whole. Wombat is making moves. They made a lot of moves at the end of 2023 to kind of get themselves in a good spot. I have a sneaking suspicion those moves are not stopped, or they're not done. And I say that as pure speculation. I don't know any of the details. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but they definitely feel like they're putting themselves in a strong position as we start moving into the bull market. So a couple of the things that I wanted to highlight, them taking over Atomica, which I think was a solid move for them as a whole, because that's one of the biggest marketplaces. And they didn't just take it over, but they've been improving it and adding a number of things to it that really help it out. The WAM play is great. Especially from a point of view of rewarding people just for playing games. In addition to that, Dungeon Masters is popular. It's not my super duper cup of tea, just because it's more of a clicker and a little bit of strategy involved. But Dungeon Worlds, I think, will be a lot more interesting once that comes out, if it matches up. They've also started branching out into Polygon to expand their overall reach. So they're making a lot of moves, and I think they're going to continue to make those through 2024. So that's why they're on this list as far as projects and teams to kind of keep an eye out for in 2024. Next on the list is a game that is not officially released yet. Currently, it is in private alpha. This is a game called Oxia Origin. I've mentioned this in the past as a game that you should keep an eye out on. I think it has a lot of potential. It has a very strong backing as far as the community goes, and they're making some moves, both not just on the Wax blockchain, but a few other blockchains also. And if they're able to nail this approach, which is the space open world style exploration strategy shooter game, I think it's going to be a big hit, not just in Wax, but overall on the Web 3.0 space. And that's a big if they're able to nail it. I haven't had a chance to go ahead and play yet. I'm basically basing it on community feedback, their updates that they're making, and some videos that they've been putting out. So I think there's a lot of potential with it. And they're going to open the beta here shortly. That'll allow a lot more players to jump in there and test it out and play. And I think that's going to be a big hit. There's a lot of people that love the space genre of games, and I think this is going to be a fun one to play. That's why it is on my list of games to watch out for in 2024. Next on the list is Thrive on Mars. This is a game I just started getting back into. I played this probably about 6 months to a year ago, and I just had too many things on my plate. But I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. There's some background with this one where a lot of the strategies that are in the games are actually in correlation with some efforts that are actually talking about colonizing Mars. So they're running a lot of strategies in here to kind of test out the theory behind it. So it's neat to actually be playing a game that has that to it also. Plus, it's a resource management style game right now with some additions coming here in the future. I'm not going to dive into those additions yet. Once they're officially announced, I'll go ahead and dive into those a little bit more. But there's just some cool things that are coming here in 2024 that's connected with Thrive on Mars. They're really going ahead and focusing not just on the landing on Mars and colonizing it, but also really trying to, again, be successful. Resource management strategy style game that's going to expand quite a bit throughout the next year or so. So that's why it's on my list as far as games that I think are going to develop really well here in 2024. Next on the list, this is one that was on my list last year also. I think they've made some good strides. They have a new feature that's releasing here shortly, and that's Nova Pangia. They are 100% probably one of the best communities on the Wax blockchain, which gives them a big advantage here because a lot of people are going to go ahead and be loyal to them. Plus, they're doing a lot of development. They're always running community events, plus always looking to develop. Last year, they released their token. They continue to expand the game itself. They are going to be releasing the PvP here in the next few weeks. If it's not already released, I know they're doing the pack sale that's here at the end of January, and then they're going to do PvP right after that. It's an arena style battle game that, especially if you like that, it's a great addition. Then they're going to continue to develop the differences between the realms, which I think is where the critical storyline comes into play. So I think they're actually going to have a really, really big year here in 2024 because they're going from just the staking resource management style game to actually putting the lore into place and actually putting that into the game with the PvP style and making each realm a little bit different. So there's going to be some adjustments to the actual overall game that I think is going to make it really fun to go ahead and play. And we got 3 more on the list. The next one being Machiavellic. This is a game that I'm excited for. It was recently announced. Started off in Cardano, is now branched into the Wax blockchain. They're going to be doing their first boarding process here in mid-February as they continue to develop a number of mini games as those are going to be kind of the stopgap as they're developing the full game itself. This one looks neat. It's not going to be just a 2024 release it and sit there. This has a long roadmap ahead of it as far as different features that are going to be released. So they're going to continue to develop it and work it as we're going through 2024 and even 2025. But I think they're going to make some huge strides here in 2024. From right now, they're in the pre-development stage from the boarding in middle of February and continue to develop it on. I think by the end of this year, this is a game that a lot of people are going to be talking about as potential. It's going to be an open world style game that allows you to really follow the space genre and really kind of we'll have more information on this soon. So it'll be an interesting one. I don't want to say too much about it just because it's still very early in the development stage, but it's a game that I'm excited about. And the reason that this game is coming here to the Wax blockchain is really the next one on the list is the FGL Studios. This FGL is doing a very cool thing that not a lot of other project teams are doing, or some others are trying, but they're not quite at that level yet. What FGL Studios is doing is they have a full suite of games that are all using the same token, you have the ability to use some NFTs from one game to the other one, and it really kind of emphasizes and gives you the advantage if you're playing multiple of the games on FGL. They have Outlaw Troopers, Cosmic Clash, Mecha World, they have Blockchain Heroes, they have Machiavellic that's coming out that I just talked about, and plus other games that they're going to be working on over the next year. They're doing a really good job at putting out a quality product, but they're also quality products that interact with each other and create their own ecosystem. Taco, Wombat all do that with a combination of utility and gameplay. FGL is really focused on the gameplay and ecosystem, which is really neat to see. And I really think more projects are going to be following this approach, and more studios are going to be following this approach in the future, where they have multiple games that interact well with each other. I think FGL is just ahead of that game right now, and they're going to continue to develop with games and build their ecosystem out here this year. So I think they are a solid lock as far as games and studios that are going to be one of the top games and studios at the end of this year. And then last but not least, this again, I keep saying this should be absolutely no surprise to anyone. Avalon, the game, I think has huge potential. Throughout 2023, they went from a game that just kicked off alpha to really putting a solid alpha out there. 2024, they're going to be moving from the alpha phase over to the beta phase, where they're focused on Unreal 5, really getting the gameplay around there, getting more quests out there, more raids out there, just making it much more of a solid environment. They also have the streaming portion of it in testing. And when I say streaming, I mean right now, in order to play Avalon, you need a downloadable client. They also want to go ahead and open this up for those that don't have that beefy PC that can handle an open world MMORPG. So you can actually, as long as you have a good internet connection, you can play from a browser, which I think is going to open it up to a lot of people within the Wax blockchain and overall Web 3.0 space. They are working closely with Nintendo. They're working closely with Xbox and other game studios, or I should say platforms, to expand it. They are on Epic. They are also looking to expand to other ones like Steam at some point. It's not a priority at the moment, but they're trying to put the building blocks there to allow them to do that. And like I said, they have beta coming out here in the near future, which is really going to add some cool features to the game. I'm really excited to see what happens with Avalon throughout 2024. And again, if I had to guess right now, this would be my top game at the end of this year also, just from the team, just from the community and their roadmap as far as the development goes. So that's it. Those are my games that I think, I should say, those are my projects that I think will develop really nicely throughout 2024. There are other games that could be on this list that are probably right at the edge of the list that I didn't mention. I didn't want to make this video too long. I didn't want to go ahead and list out 1,000 games. I had to limit it to a certain number of games. But there are other games like Pixagon. I think it has a solid arcade base. Forsaken is going to be one of the top, if not the top card game on the Wax blockchain. Forge Arena is going to be the top first-person shooter game. We got Aphelium and Ventures Guild, which are going to be the top Discord-based games on the Wax blockchain, I believe. So there's a number of other options out there. So if I didn't say your game, please understand it's not that I'm ignoring it. I had to limit it. We can't have this as a 2-hour video. But if you have a game that you're super interested in, that you think should be on this list, go ahead in the comments down below. Let me know. Again, I'm going to be going ahead and going through a full review of every single game on the Wax blockchain here over the next few months. So this list may adjust a little bit as I get a feel for some games I haven't had a chance to play recently. But as of right now, I had to put this list out here in January so I could really take a look at it in December. So let me know. Let me know what you think. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.